Hello and welcome to Creating for Grace. Today we're going to be working on a shaker card. This is going to be the finished project. We use a confetti punch in there and then an assortment of the sequins that we had. We're going to use the Painter's Palette stamp set. Mine is in clear. The item number is 141910. So the first thing we did was we stamped the Painter's Palette little easel on here, and I used the Memento ink in black. And then I took our layering squares framelits, the size that fit just on the inside of that Painter's Palette. You'll see on the layering squares the blade to cut the papers on the inside, so that's the part you need to measure up. And then I ran that through the Big Shot and cut that. Then if you turn it over, I used our new strips of adhesive here, but first underneath in that empty space I used some of our clear window sheets and I cut them 2.5 by 2.5. Then I ran some of our snail adhesive right around the inside. I stuck the window sheet down, and then I used our new strips of adhesive to put right around the inside here. I used our confetti punch, which is in the brand new catalog. It's this one. And I used all the pieces. The only piece I took out was this piece that was right here. Hopefully that shows up in the video. It's not too shiny. This one I cut into 3 pieces. Otherwise, I kept it exactly the same. I added some extra dimensions here, did some silver sequins, and then we have a combination that has the clear, the white, and the black. I took out some clear and white from that, and I put it in. The ink that we're using is Peekaboo Peach, and so that's the cardstock, the ink, and then the Memento is in the black. I also used the Petite Petal Punch, and I cut out 6 of these per card that I made so I could layer them. One side has the stripe and then one side has the floral, and I layered the flowers. I'll show you how I did that in just a minute. Then I also used the washi tape, and I used a couple different rolls of the washi tape because one had the black in it, which is from the Papa Pink, and then the other one had the Peekaboo Peach in it, and I wanted that to match. So I have one card pretty much ready to go that I'm just going to show you how we did the basics on. I used the same stamp set in colors because I always tell people to make their envelopes pretty. So I did that there. These squares I did 2.5 by 2.5 as well. I did the sentiment that I wanted to have, and then I did the Peekaboo Peach in the little kind of splatter. So that's the first part that we're going to do. And pull the adhesive off of these. And then this is 2.5 by 2.5, like I said. So if you get the sentiment pretty centered on there, you're going to end up fine when you flip it over. Matches the size of the window sheet, and I put the adhesive just inside of that, so you know that everything's going to work great. That's the confetti that rolls around on the inside. It's got a little bit of shimmer on there, and just like that. So this is the washi tape that I have. I'm taking a strip of the black and white, and I'm just running it about here, and I'm grabbing my paper snips and cutting it like so. And then I have my next strip that I'm going to do, and I'm just going to layer that barely on top right there, just for a little splash of color, and we want to just give it that torn look. So that takes care of both of those, and then you just fold your extras around the back there, just like that. So these are the flowers that I had pre-done. Like I said, I punched out 6 of them, and these are just the opposite side. So I have the snail adhesive that we use here. So I took the the peach and white stripes, and then I did the flower right on top of that. And we have our little snail dots here. And I knew I didn't want to cover up the top of my easel, so I ended up starting there so I'd know exactly where I was going to put the flowers. And sparkle is always good, plus we have the silver sequins that are inside, so give it a little bit of bling in the center of each of our flowers. And then I knew this was going to be an upright card, and so I cut my paper at 4 1/4 and then the 11 inches, and I scored it at 5 1/2 so that when it stands up, it would stand up like this. So I had some dimensionals that were already ready to go here. So we're just going to flip that over, and then what you're looking to do is just center that on your base. And I usually go in about 1/4 of an inch per layer of cardstock. So if I know that this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, this white layer I have cut then at 4 inches by 5 1/4. So I know that's going to leave me an 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. And so our finished product is just like this. It's actually really easy and quick to do a shaker card, and it adds a lot of pizzazz to anything. If you have any questions or want dimensions, they're on my blog, creatingforgrace.com. And thanks so much for visiting today.